Our life is in equal parts terrible.
Thanks, Ben.
I meant incredible or terrifying, and it came up with terrible. Our life is in equal parts terrifying and incredible. And if you'd have told me 5 years ago that we were going to do full-time YouTube running content creators, I would have thrown a beef burger at you and spat on your back.
Ben, that's disgusting.
Okay, I wouldn't have spat, but I definitely wouldn't have believed you. In fact, I would have told you you're mad. And yet here we are.
6 months ago, we left the safety of our teaching jobs to pursue a dream. And we're going to talk you through our life, our running life, our living.
I can't.
And today we want to share our running.
And we want to share with you our running journey and our life journey. And we're going to break the video into 4 parts. Part 1, how in the heck did we get here? Like our backstory. Part 2, how do we live our life? What does our life look like right now? Part 3, how do we train? What's the training looking like towards Tokyo and the rest of the year?
And part 4, how do we make a living? What do we earn?
And as I say, it is a crazy journey, but there has been so much blood, sweat and tears in the background. So for you to understand why we do what we do, I think you need to understand us.
Mary and I met in 2007 when I started as a trainee teacher in the school that Mary was already teaching at. I proposed in 2009 and we went travelling in the same year. We married in 2010 with all of the usual hopes and dreams, starting a family being one of them.
But then we had about 7 to 8 years of heartache follow. It was years and years of multiple IVF treatments, miscarriages. It was a pretty hard time.
So we kind of knew then that just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, it was too much heartache.
Yeah, it was during that tough time, in 2014 actually, that we adopted a puppy called Winnie, the love of our life. She literally saved us. She's the most beautiful soul. She's 11 now and she's still an outlet for all of our love every day. But we still felt like we had more to give. So in 2017, while we were on holiday in Florida, we came up with an idea and a name for that outlet. This Messy Happy. The message being that life can be messy, but you can always find the happy if you look for it. It was a blog first and then quite quickly became a YouTube channel.
So this was exciting because the channel actually wasn't a running channel at the start. It was actually 40 challenges before 40 that we sat down and written up and come up with. Like, what were some of the challenges?
So some were running, like one of mine was to run a 10K, which was huge, but there were some like learning an instrument, learning how to cook new dishes.
The instrument didn't happen. Dishes did.
Dishes did. We like...
Leave a happy note in books in a bookstore.
Yeah.
But here was the key. I ran a marathon on New Year's Eve 2018 and that got a little bit of traction, of momentum, and I thought, ooh, there might be something here.
And then I ran London Marathon and we started sharing training tips. In that time also, Mary ran her first 10K and a few half marathons, and then COVID. And we decided to move to Thailand. So in 2021, we started the next chapter. We packed our lives up and we headed to Bangkok to work as teachers in an international school. And of course, Winnie came too. And after just a few months of being in Thailand in late 2021, we found 8 abandoned puppies on a beach in a place called Chumpon. We rescued them all and drove them to a dog rescue charity called Head Rocks. And if you want to support their work, the link is in the description. One man at the hotel we were staying at adopted 3 of the 8 and we took the other 5 to Head Rocks. But it was meant to be. So we adopted the weakest of the puppies and we called him Jesse.
So this was when the channel really started to take off. Once we'd got to Thailand, we were doing a ton of different races.
Having a great time. Like, that's really when running clicked for me and everything was just flowing really well.
Yeah, and it was about, I reckon, mid-2023 that I started to think, this could actually be a thing that we could do potentially.
So, just before the New York City Marathon in 2023, we signed 2-year contracts at our work. But I knew it was going to be my last contract. I was going to take the jump. To be honest, we never believed at that point that Mary would be able to make the jump too.
You know, you really didn't have a choice. It was both of us or none of us.
Yes.
So between 2023 to summer of 2025, we put everything into place to be able to leave the safety of teaching. The great wage, the healthcare, the housing, the visa, everything. And it was to go all in on a dream. We kept racing all distances and ticking off the marathon majors as well. I was already a highly qualified triathlon and running coach, and we both have sports science degrees, so Mary went through her run coaching qualification process as well. I'll be honest, 2018 to 2025 was easily the hardest period in my life on the work front. I'd work 7 a.m. until 5 p.m. all week at school, and then train before or after work, and then I would work all evenings and all weekends pretty much. Obviously I'd try to take breaks, but it was full on, and definitely it nearly broke me.
We started a marathon training group and we called it Class 1 Training for Marathons in Spring 2024. Our race was Boston.
And that was an amazing experience actually. Like, we got to Boston, we met some of Class 1. It was like a really humbling and wonderful thing to see other people training for marathons alongside us, and we started to think, actually, this could really be something. We had like 100 people in Class 1 alone.
So we wrote more marathon plans, we tweaked the ones that we had, and we had a Class 2, and then we had a Class 3, and we realised this community wants and deserved more. So we carried on training and we made the decision. In late 2024, we handed our resignation notices in together and we decided to make the terrifying jump. And in April 2025, we launched our membership option for people who wanted more than the marathon class training, for meetups, for community, for a sense of belonging. We wrote 5K, 10K and half marathon plans and ultra marathon plans as well, so everybody could be involved. And in June 2025, that was it.
Madness. Teaching, careers, done.
Yeah, a combined total of 45 years in the teaching industry, not do you call it?
World?
As teachers.
Yeah.
And that was really a huge part of our life, and then it was over.
Yeah, and then it was almost stepping into the terrifying abyss, but also exciting abyss. It was an abyss.
Now the new journey has started. We could take up opportunities not open to us before because of the restrictions of term time. We ran Berlin Marathon, we nearly ran Cape Town Marathon, but it was cancelled, but we went. And then we did Shanghai Marathon in November, all incredible experiences. That crazy 8 years really starting to pay off.
So here we are, it's like January 2026 as we're making this, we're in our new life. There's certainly been times when it's been tough, it's not been easy, there's been anxiety, there's been stress, there's been money worries, but there's also been feelings of absolute euphoria.
Yeah, freedom and joy and just opportunity.
Yeah, so it is not easy and it hasn't been easy, but we feel like we're finding our rhythm, and we want to share with you what our actual lives look like now. Like, how do we move from day to day? Because I think it's something, when you go from a really structured life to a really unstructured life, there is a period of adjustment and learning, which we've definitely gone through. So we think we're getting to a place where we like how the setup of our day and weeks are.
Yeah.
You be the judges.
Mary, what time is it?
It's 6:58.
And what does that mean?
Morning routine.
Come on.
This is probably now the favourite part of my day, and creating a good morning routine is something that was so important for us at the beginning when we felt a bit lost and a bit aimless in the mornings. And I think as teachers, we're used to structure, we crave a bit of structure, and that's what we found with this routine, which I'll share with you. Okay, Ben's heading back, I'm heading back now. We do this every morning, pretty much Monday to Friday. It's a 20-minute walk for me. Sometimes I run here and meet Ben here, and then for 20 minutes he will swim and I will walk Winnie, and she gets to live her best life, which was a big part of the move down here, to give Winnie what she loves. She's 11 years old now, so she is absolutely living her dream life, running on the beach, swimming in the sea, chasing balls on the daily, and it's such a positive start to the day that really sets us up well mentally to do everything we've got to do. And then on Monday we really kickstart the week because we go for our team meeting after the walk. We always go for breakfast on a Monday morning, have a coffee, usually pancakes, and kind of plan out our week. This week we went one extra. We had an AGM and we did like bigger long-term planning, and we went to a really nice place for breakfast Actually, that hotel that you can see behind me, we had a voucher. It's absolutely gorgeous. So we went there for a really special big meeting and planned out the whole kind of year, what we want to achieve this year. So we really make sure to start every week with purpose on a Monday. Yeah, I think developing this morning routine has really helped us mentally. We did feel a bit lost. We were struggling at the start just to find our rhythm and groove. And I think having a plan, having a purpose first thing in the morning, and it's a beautiful one. Obviously on a Monday, we're having our breakfast out. Every other day, we're at home having breakfast by 8. And then we can get to work, get started at about 8:30. How was it?
Yeah, it's quite nice. That way was a new record, under 10 minutes.
Yeah, you looked so fast doing that one.
Yeah, this way was like 12 minutes, so averaged out, but yeah, pretty happy.
Little treat I allow myself is planning my athletes' training plans whilst also watching the NFL during the NFL season, because it's so short. It's like 4 months of the season and then 8 months of nothing. So I allow myself this little treat while still focusing on getting plans done. I think it's important for both of us to have a bit of variety, of variation, and I know this is going to sound weird, but just literally of where we are within the house. Because if I sat behind one desk all day, I think I would go crazy. When I was a teacher, I was doing like 15 to 20,000 steps a day, and that has crashed. So the exercise is equally as important, but we rotate through the day. As I say, my day can start in front of the TV if there is NFL on, but it gives me the opportunity to focus in on my training plans first for the athletes I coach, and then get any admin, reply to emails, all of those things that need to happen when you're a business, I guess. I've just finished next Wednesday's video, so a week today. You want a little sneak peek? Because you'll see it before it actually officially comes out. It's my race video at Konken. Here you go. But sub 3 at Tokyo is on again.
So I move around in my day as well, usually sitting somewhere near a fan, either here or in there, working on my coaching plans, training plans, having meetings with athletes, and doing a bit of Instagram and other stuff like that as well, and admin, and that really takes up the majority of the day. So I'll go in there when Ben's not busy editing videos, and it's quite good to mix it up and have a few different locations.
And we do all of our group coaching calls and all of our members' chats from the studio in here. Look at this bunch of legends. So we spend a lot of our time behind the desk.
It's his first outside run except for a half marathon I've done for like over a month.
First time we've run together for ages.
This can be hard to care, but with you it can't be done. This can be hard to care, but with you it can't be done. Feeling like I'm lost at sea, but with you it can't be done.
Oh, that hill was tougher than I remember. Yeah, it's been a while. We tried something different this morning. As you can see, I'm not swimming over there. Training wise, our training used to look the same because we did the same training, but in recent times, as you know, my calf has gone, so I've had to pivot my training. So whilst Mary still gets to run 6 times a week, not this week, you're on a recovery week, my training has changed quite dramatically actually over the past few weeks and months, and I think I'm gonna keep it like it is because I enjoy. Well, I'll explain, but I enjoy it. So Mary trains Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, day off Monday. 6 days a week running at the moment because we're trying to get to a multiple 100-kilometer weeks before Tokyo and see how the body holds up. Looking like she's a runner right now. And obviously all of that running supplemented by strength and conditioning, which she's suffering from because she did yesterday. On sore legs now. I've had to send Mary packing because my calf is not re-injured, but it is feeling tight. So as a result, I've just said, you go, I'll get a taxi.
No risks for you.
No risks. plan I think I can get behind and do long term. It's not just running. So I've decided that in the mornings, every morning, I will either, when I'm not running, because I'm gonna mostly run in the afternoons, I'm gonna either go swimming or I'm gonna go to the gym. And when the swimming season in the sea is over, because the sea turns choppy, I'm gonna turn to surfing. So I'm gonna go surfing in the morning or gym in the morning. And that's gonna be like every morning of the week, just because we love our routine. As you've seen, like, it starts our day right, we get to breakfast and we've already crushed the day, and you feel like you have momentum on your side.
It's actually felt better than I thought it would, switching up to 6 days a week, and I think that's down to the freedom, I guess, and the flexibility that this new life has given, that I can carve out a bit more time for training. I can run in the day on the treadmill, and that's made it so much easier to add on extra running and to make it work and for it not to feel like too much of a strain. So my training has benefited hugely, which I'm a big fan of.
And then in the afternoons, I'm just gonna cycle or I'm gonna run, and the amount of runs will depend on where my body's at. My aim is to get to 5 comfortable runs, but I need to build a stronger body first. So obviously the gym, that's why I'm going there. And then on the days I don't run, I will cycle. I'll probably have Monday as a day of just swimming, I would imagine, just to give myself one day of breathing space. But that's the kind of setup we're gonna have moving forwards. Like, Mary is hopefully gonna stay at 6 runs a week and smashing it.
Okay, we're gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Right now, I'm gonna get a haircut from Mary, and it's gonna be a bit of a barbershop, almost like car chat, like from the old days. But also, we're gonna break down all of the things we do to survive, to earn money, and it's been a big jump. It's been a massive pay cut from teaching, and all of the benefits that come with teaching, like your housing, your flights home, your insurance. But we're making it work, and we want to share it with you because it is doable. Okay, Mary, could I have, so that I don't, can you just do it so I don't look bald? So we're both qualified running coaches and have sports science degrees with a teaching background, so we found it quite easy, that bit, to transition. So we were looking at the percentage makeup of what we earn, and the run coaching 1-to-1 is a good 70% of everything that we earn. No, it is about 60% of everything that we earn. This started in lockdown, by the way, and it's never stopped. So some of the other things that we do is we started our membership tier and our marathon training classes. Lots of people interacting every week. That probably forms 10 to 12% of everything that we earn across the year.
Have you mentioned like how hard we had to save to kind of have this first year to...
Yeah, that's a good point. We saved ridiculously hard for the 2 years that we knew that we were leaving teaching. We just saved almost everything we possibly could to have as a backup. As a what?
Buffer.
As a buffer. For when, because we knew that we're going to have to try and build this. It's going to take a while. It's not going to be overnight. Nothing ever is. So we had to have a buffer behind us. Then everyone always talks about YouTube income, and creators should definitely not rely on that. That should be roughly about 10% of everything you earn should be YouTube income. I think at the moment we're at about 15%, but with a view to reducing, still making the same amount, but like bringing everything else around it up so that it becomes 10%. Because if you rely on YouTube income, I think you're in trouble from the start.
Yeah, and occasionally we have brand deals, which is a nice little extra, which can help to fund some of our trips to races. So
get us into races.
Yeah, only we've kind of shied away from it before, and we only ever do it if it's a genuine connection and a brand that we would actually spend our own money on.
Yeah, and have before, and if it feels authentic.
Yeah, so like we've worked with Soar, we've worked with Say Sky.
And Sports Tours International.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have good relationships with some really good brands but we keep it pretty close. We're kind of quite selective over who we work with, but that accounts for probably another 10% of everything that we earn over the year. I think there's huge scope for us this year in 2026 on all of those fronts, on the coaching, on the membership, on the YouTubing, on the everything, and we're really excited about where we're going, but it is a big leap into the unknown considering we're earning probably half what we did when we were teaching, and that's okay, because we believe in what we're doing and this is the dream. So we're going to live it, and we're going to live it as well as we can.